What's up, everybody? P. Pardo here from Comic Book Users. Welcome to another episode of the show, another Warren publication, Eerie magazine, right? Love the horror stuff. Warren did such a great job on both Eerie and Creepy and Vampirella and others. This particular issue we're going to take a look at is Eerie number 43. Look at that cover. No home is safe from the mysterious Walking Dead. And we got a fabulous cover here by none other than Luis Dominguez. Right, so a whole bunch of stories in here. This one is 75 pages. Right. Oh, look, there's the sexy Vampirella. Full color, 6-foot poster. Wow. Anyway, as with all these Eerie magazines from Warren, you get on the first page, you get a little monster gallery. Quetzalcoatl, monster god, and then the table of contents. And participating in this particular issue, number 43 from November 1972, publisher and editor James Warren, managing editor W.B. Dubé, cover, like I said, Luis Dominguez, marketing director Flo Steinberg, production Bill Mohali, artists in this issue Richard Corbin, Luis Garcia, Jerry Grandinetti, Esteban Moroto, Paul Neary, Suso, and Tom Sutton. Writers this issue, Richard Margopoulos, Esteban Moroto, Doug Mensch, and Steve Skeets. Doug gets around, huh? Or got around, I should say. All right, we go in. First, we got the Dear Cousin Eerie letters page. A lot of them. 2 pages full. And then we get the first story, which is called Someday. I believe it's just called Someday, right? Someday, yes. And this is by Jerry Grandinetti, who drew it. Richard Margopoulos did the artwork. Another kind of sci-fi story about a couple of space dudes visiting another planet. On this planet, you got all these giant lizards, right? They go and they figure they're gonna take over this planet. So they start blasting some of the giant lizards, and they land, and then they take control of some of the lizards, and they put this kind of they have this kind of technology that will let's see, what does it actually say? They send out a ray that will. The tingling ray that alters the genetic structure of all the living creatures on the planet. Soon all these creatures will mutate, evolve into higher life forms, and this valley will be transformed into a garden paradise. So the 2 folks that are actually on the spaceship is a man and a woman. Adam and Eva. Gee, where have we heard that before, right? So they're onto this new planet. They're going to start their new garden paradise. Garden of Paradise from Adam and Eve, right? So they're going to make this planet that they just discovered into their own image. So now all of a sudden, all these former giant reptiles now are these kind of like humanoid creatures. Boy, does all this sound familiar? And then they start doing all sorts of experiments, and you got back on their own planet. You know, they're getting them and telling them what's going on down there and whatnot. Good artwork on this one, right? And then eventually you have the all these new life forms that they've created eventually want to overtake, right? And make the planet their own. So then they basically drive out Adam and Eva. Okay, it's like a big revolt. And in the end, as Adam goes to leave, he's got like a self-destruct button on his spaceship that will then destroy the entire planet. Kaboom. Actually, as it turns out, that was Earth, right? So that was the beginning of what we know as Earth with mankind and all that sort of thing. So kind of like a what-if story there, right? Using the whole Adam and Eve story. Then you got this story called Musical Chairs. Okay. That a guy who kills someone goes to prison, gets sentenced to death. He's sentenced to the electric chair. We're counting down the hours till he's going to be put to death. He's actually walking towards his doom, right? You can see. And as he's doing that, he starts to kind of hallucinate. He's like, what's going on? All of a sudden, he finds he's flying, falling through space into another dimension. he's like, whoa, what's happening here? Am I being saved, right? Where am I now? And he meets this old guy, right? And he goes, am I dead? Did something happen? What's going on? He's like, no, you're not dead. I have rescued you from your death. And he's on some other place, some other planet. There's this giant castle. They go up there. There they see this giant creature who's dead with a sword in him. It says, that sword was put there and only the right person can take it out. So give it a try. He goes to pull the sword out. Of course, he is able to do that. As he pulls the sword out, right, all these other creatures come to life. They go to grab him. This one kind of like tree creature with all these kind of tentacles, right? And he uses the sword. He's slashing away, right? They go through. They leave the castle. Everybody's celebrating. He was able to get the sword and slay the creature. But then, of course, the palace guards, they want to take him down. You must fight them, says the old man, the wizard, whatever. He goes and him against an army, but he's got this magic sword, right? So he goes, he attacks them, the battle commences, he's putting them all down. All of a sudden, he defeats the entire army. So now the remaining people are like, well, you need to take your seat at the throne. You are the new king. He goes, how can I be? What is your first wish as king? What do you want? Oh, I want to have bringing me some dancing girls. As you wish, sir. Here come the dancing girls. He's sitting on the throne. The dancing girls. All of a sudden, the dancing girls disappear. And where is he actually? He's not on a king's throne. He's sitting in the electric chair. So he was just hallucinating all this, and then boom, he is dead. That's it. So in a weird way, he had actually some real enjoyment and real happiness in his life before he was put to death in the electric chair, even if it was all just a dream or whatever. So here we have another story called Bright Eyes. Here you got some kind of zombie-like dude going through the swamps, shows up in a house. There's some older guy who basically is kind of his boss or whatever, telling him what to do, his master, right? See a book called Voodoo on the table. All of a sudden, there are these other guys walking around the swamp. And then there's this rich dude sitting in his house having a drink. The old man's basically telling all these zombies to go to his house. They do. They go and they tear him apart, doing their bidding. But another guy who was in search for his brother who just disappeared, been looking all over, goes to the old man's house, says, have you seen my brother? Go away, go away. I don't know what you're talking about. Turns out that one of his zombies is the brother. And here the brother finds out, right? The old guy's like, I'm gonna kill you. He actually doesn't. And then the zombie brother turns on the old guy. The old guy gets shot. He dies. And all the zombies just basically melt away. They were already dead. There's no saving them. Right? No saving them. And we got some book reviews. All right. So I get a review of Green Lantern, The Ghouls, Haunting and Horrors, and Tales from the Crypt. This is all, again, 1972, right? Then you got another story here called, what is this one called? The Hunt. All right, this one is Paul Neary did the art. Richard Margopoulos also did the story. About a guy kind of run, it's almost like a game. Attempts to escape from the hunt. Cool artwork here as well. And again, he meets up, gets captured, gets brutalized. Kind of looks like Conan, right? A little bit. Meets up with some wild dogs. They go attack him. But then he gets tracked. He gets cornered by the ones that are after him, and take a look at what they look like, right? Kind of like lion men or something like that. They're actually hunting him for sport. So kind of like the whole Planet of the Apes thing, right? Where you have the apes hunting the humans. Kind of similar type thing here. And then you got kind of like a little weird Western story here called Showdown. Art by Suso, story by Steve Skeets. Again, another story about how the guy here, this cowboy, this killer here, things are not always what they seem, so he thinks he's being hunted. He thinks he shoots the guy who's hunting him, but every time he turns around, they're back again, and the dead keep popping up around him. It's really just someone resurrected, or they're actually all people that he's killed who are coming back from the dead, and in the end they wind up killing him. So it's like, the dead will come back to haunt you if you're someone who's just basically been murdering people. That's kind of what that's all about. And then we got lots of ads, all sorts of cool stuff. Monster movie posters, hardcover books, models and fan clubs, back issues, record albums. Pretty cool stuff there. Giant posters, Super 8 movie films, back issues of Vampirella. Get your Venus flytrap here. And I believe there's one more story. Yeah, cool. Check these out. These models, dinosaur models, Cro-Mag prehistoric copy kits. All right. And then the last story, or after a little bit more fan stuff, you've got a story called Dax the Warrior, Let the Evil One Sleep. Again, another kind of sword and sorceress thing. Kind of like a, sort of like a Conan type story. You get a guy, he's delirious, right? He's been traveling. He's dying of thirst. He happens upon some water. There he sees a gorgeous woman. Oh, spoiler alert, a little bit of nudity here, guys. Again, another kind of like, almost like Adam and Eve type of story here. He, of course, is totally enraptured with her. They get attacked. It seems like these creatures, these skeletal creatures, are after her. They go to kill her. And again, his name is Adam, as you can see. But what's really happening here? Is he seeing what he's seeing? And then there's this other creature. He goes and battles the other creature, but in the end, he's alone again, out in the desert. Did all this happen? Did it not happen? Remains to be seen. There you have it. Issue number 43 of Eerie. From Warren. Put your comments down below. Thanks for watching, and please hit that like button before you leave, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back soon with more stuff here on Comic Book Geezers. We'll be doing a bunch of solo shows this week. Bill and I will hopefully get together next weekend to tape some stuff. So, but for now, I got some cool stuff here to show you. So that'll be all me for the next couple days. So thanks for watching, everybody. I am P. Pardo from Comic Book Geezers. See you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.